Welcome to Geeks of the North, a hobby and gaming podcast in the Belle Province. We're here to paint some miniatures and talk about the hobby, so why don't you sit back, relax, grab a paintbrush, and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, welcome back to Geeks of the North, your hobby and gaming podcast from the Belle Province. I am one of your hosts this week, the one and only Paul Fillion, here with my co-host, Antoine Bergeron.
Hello, and good year.
I suppose. Happy New Year, yeah. We're also here with our other hosts, Mr. Yom Lamachin.
Hello. Good evening.
Evening, Yom. Happy New Year. And our other host, B. Steve.
Hello. Should I say Happy New Year as well?
You can.
Okay, I'll say it. Happy New Year.
And I may even wish you a Happy New Year in return.
Thank you.
I am slowly realizing that if I want to color match my miniatures, I should probably be using the same paints to paint them. As I completely mixed the wrong colors, and I'm wondering why my miniature doesn't match. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, these are not the colors I used in the first batch. So yeah, that's how my night is starting.
That's our tip of the show.
Yeah, this is a sign of things to come.
Well, that's the hobby tip of the week. Use the same color when you continue a miniature after you stop painting it.
Oh no, I'm not continuing a miniature. I'm painting a whole new miniature. So I'm painting I decided to take a break from the model I've been painting for weeks. To not much avail lately. And I'm back to painting blacksmiths, because she was base coated-ish and ready to go. So I'm painting Vetcinder. And yeah, she'd go a lot better if I used the right colors to paint her. Pro tip.
Not just tip of the week. Pro tip of the
week. Yeah, pro tip. I really like that.
Just the tip. Yeah, that was a bad joke. Oh, alrighty. So yeah, it's been a fairly productive year in terms of miniature painting. And we're going to actually spend a little bit of time discussing that and talking about some stuff for the upcoming year. Things we'd like to do, things we're going to do.
Things Yom are wish listing to do.
Yeah.
What won't happen.
Always the case, right? It's kind of pointless, those year-end reviews, right? Because we never respect our wishes.
I did mine for this year, so...
Really? Wow,
well,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the guy who went to the gym, right?
The funny thing is, looking at your upcoming year, made me realize something. And I'll tell you about that when we get to there.
Oh my god, the teaser.
It's kind of funny in a strange way.
So you're doing a teaser to be sure listener will stay until the end of the show.
Oh, I don't think people care that much. But I'd be lucky if I stayed at the end of the show. Yeah, so let me go back up to the top of this document that I'm supposed to be following.
Well, you've mentioned what you are working on.
Yeah.
What are you guys working on too? I think, Steve, you're working on a drink or something like that?
Yeah, I'm working on La Grivoise. It's beer from Trou du Diable, microbrewery from Shawinigan, up north, Trois-Rivières. It's pretty good. Actually, my father gave it to me because he didn't like it, so I'm sacrificing myself for the cause.
So you're the beer dump?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Honestly,
beer.
Being the beer dump for Trou du Diable.
Sorry, guys, you talk all at the same time.
I said you prefer to be called a beer whore.
No, I'm not a whore.
I was saying being the beer dump for Trou du Diable is really not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And Steve, I hate to tell you, you are kind of a beer whore.
No.
You will drink anything.
No, I won't drink anything. I won't drink stupid Bud Light.
I've seen you drink Rickard's White. You will drink anything, sir.
Well, it was not my first beer because there was no other beer. Oh, that's an awkward silence.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking that sounded all like Bill Clinton with the "I smoked pot but I didn't inhale" comment. You know?
Yeah, kind of made Paul's point right there.
I drank that beer but I didn't taste it, so it doesn't count. You know?
Oh, I drank it. I admit it, but I'm not proud of it.
Oh God.
Yo, what are you working on?
So you're not even working on a miniature?
Well, I'm trying to clean up my desk without doing too much noise.
Okay. Me, I'm working on some war piggies. It's 2 warlock from the Minions faction in Hordes. It's Storm and Drang and Helga.
Yeah, I saw your Storm and Drang. I've never seen that model actually look good before, so congratulations.
Whoa, yeah. While I'm painting him, I'm looking at him, I realize it's really not a great sculpt.
No.
And I look for a reference, like let's see what others have done with him, and no, I've not seen like great paint jobs. I don't think mine's gonna be that great either.
Well, the problem is, if you're picking something to paint with a great paint job, usually you try to pick a great sculpt to show off your paint job. At least that's what pro painters tell me.
Another pro
painters
tip
being you and Antoine. But
that's the second pro tip of the
Yeah, I know. I'm full of them.
I think instead of end of year review, it should be pro tip of the week, Paul.
Oh, I could give all kinds of pro tips.
Remember,
as long as no one actually asks me to paint anything, we're good. Because I can talk like a boss.
Yeah, you even did it at Reaper Con a couple of years ago.
Yeah. That person looked so disappointed when I told them after the whole conversation that I wasn't actually a professional painter. I don't know who she thought I was, but...
You're the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. I think it was just assumed, If he's hanging out with pro painters, he must be a pro painter. He doesn't have a lineup, so I'll ask him questions. And, in my defense, it's not like I gave her bad advice. Well, I don't think it was bad advice. We'll leave it at that.
So that's it. The 2 models are, progressing well, but I don't like Storm and Drang sculpt. Let's see.
It hasn't aged well either.
No.
I think it was from a dark time in the Privateer Press sculpting pool.
It was never really good.
Well,
I play Pig and I almost didn't buy it. So.
What, Sturm and Drang or just pigs in general?
I play Pharaohs, so it's not like we have a lot of choice for Warlocks. But that one I almost not buy because of the model. So
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about how Privateer Press in general doesn't have good sculpts. I'm like, wow.
Oh, no. I meant that one.
There was a time where I would agree with that statement, actually, years back, but I'd say in recent years they've gotten a lot of nice stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The pig themselves have had really nice sculpts. The other one, Miss Painting Helga is one of my favorite models. So
the Valkyries.
Yeah, right? She's really nice.
Helga's really nice. The basic Valkyrie
Squad, yeah, they are really good too. So. Yeah. So it's just Storm and Drain. All the other pigs are fine. The big warlocks, at least.
I'm not a fan of Carver either, so I kind of asked him not to paint him, my client, because I'm obviously painting that for a client. So I asked him, can I not paint Carver? But I really underestimated the sculpt of, or overestimated the sculpt of Sturm and Drang. So I don't know. In my head, it looked better than that.
It maybe been a long time since you looked at it too, right? Yeah, it's tough sometimes. Especially when you're painting for a client, right? 'Cause you just gotta take one for the team sometimes and tell yourself, oh, I'm being paid to do this.
Yes.
It's okay to feel miserable about your job sometimes.
Don't we all do?
Yeah, I just call that day today. So is that everyone?
Nope.
No,
I'm not
Antoine.
done yet.
Oh, no, Antoine.
So I'm painting my Devanu starter for an area of the World of Twilight. So little bipedal creatures, almost kind of Dark Crystal-esque, but the hunters and the bad guys in the setting. Or the wild guys, at least, in the setting.
Dark Crystal-esque is a good way to describe it. Because you cannot really get more Dark Crystal-esque without being actually Dark Crystal. That game is a very cool aesthetic. And I still think it was really gutsy of him to forego having any humans in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't sound like a big deal. But if it really wasn't that big a deal, then every game would do that. Or there'd be more games that did that. And there really aren't a lot of games that do that.
Yeah. If I think the only other games I see that don't have humans are anthropomorphic games.
Yeah, the Badgers and Burrows of the world.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that game comes to mind because I saw you commented on that post. That guy posted that really cool looking figure for that game.
Mm-hmm.
I always find it neat to see stuff like that. There's not a lot of those games around, you know.
Nope.
So when I do see those figures, I'm always super impressed to see one painted well. I think that's mostly because a lot of good painters have so much quote-unquote real stuff to paint that they don't have time for fun models like that.
There's probably a part of that, or also some of those games are less
mainstream.
Less mainstream, but also they're there to play, so they're not big scale miniatures. They're not deep display pieces, so might be less interesting for most of the
people to show.
Eye level painters.
Yeah, because I guess if you still want to attract attention, GW or bust, right?
Yeah.
Well, now actually, that's not so much the case. There's all those niche busts and everything else that all the high-level painters do.
So GW or busts?
Oh. Oh, that's
what I thought
clever.
you meant.
No, you are much more clever than I am tonight. Look at Antoine go, folks. Okay, I don't know what happened to the guy that we've been painting models the last couple months. Because wherever he is not here tonight painting this. Because this thing is looking like arse. Well, I suppose if anyone asks, I'll just say Steve painted it for me.
Ouch.
I kid, Steve. I kid.
Okay.
Have you been working on your segue? Have you been working on your rat catchers at all?
No. I haven't touched any miniatures. Well, I'm assembling Rookie Cena and cleaning the limited edition Fathom now. And cleaning Rookie Cena.
That Rookie Cena fig makes me chuckle. I love
It's so
it.
cute.
Yep. It is. That model is awesome. It really makes me wish I played Hunters.
Well, you could build your Mortician if you want to play an OP team.
No, it's not about an OP team.
I know.
It's about how cute that bear is. Oh, frig. Sorry, I just messed something up. Oh.
So what's with the heavy side, Paul?
Like I said, I just messed something up.
Okay.
I slipped with a brush. And when you slip with a size 8 brush, it hurts.
So you're basically base coating again?
I was doing detail work, actually.
Wapple style.
Yeah, but I don't have my wet palette, because I don't know where I put it. I cleaned up my painting desk, and now I don't know where anything is. So I'm using like a piece of palette paper. And the house is so dry, because, heaters in winter, that my paints are drying super fast, so I'm trying to work extra quick. And when you try to work extra quick,
You make mistakes.
yeah, so I'm discovering. Oh, well. It'll be fine.
Like Bob Ross says, there are no accidents. And there are no mistakes.
Happy little accidents.
Exactly. Only happy accidents.
Oh, I got news for Bob Ross.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead.
Well, yes, but I'm not sure how that directly pertains to me making accidents, but...
Well, you said you have news for Bob Ross, but you won't be able to tell him the news because he's dead.
A fair point. You win this round, Steve.
No, Bob Ross wins this round.
Man, I loved his show.
It's funny because we watch it with the girls. Sometimes, I watch it and the girls come by in the room and everything. And near the end of the painting, they say, "Look, I'm pretty sure he's going to put a big tree in front." And there it goes. Big tree.
Yeah, and you're like, no, what are you doing? You wrecked everything. And then he turns it around in the last second, and you're like, oh my god, he fixed everything. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't a painting genius. His painting style is super simplistic. But if you like nature painting...
And big trees.
Well, that was just his style, but... if you wanted a quick and dirty way to paint some nice, sceneries and stuff, his wet on wet style really does it. So, Topic of the show was not really supposed to be about Bob Ross. We should probably change gears, or it's going to be a 5-hour podcast about nothing. I just realized we're like the Seinfeld of podcasts, or the podcast about nothing.
Well, except Seinfeld is funny and we're not.
Well, we're occasionally funny. And Yom is funny looking.
And I kept the camera open just for that funny looking.
I had to. We'd been recording for like half an hour and I hadn't said anything bad to Yom yet, so.
Yeah, you're getting soft. It's the end of the year, that's why.
Well, I'm getting soft, alright.
No, not just that. Day. When was the last time that we were all together, the four of us?
Probably last year for the same show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, schedules and my lack of desire to edit that horrible mess that always happens when we're all together. No offense, guys, but as much as I love you all, I have better things to do.
So are we taking bets? Who's gonna screw up this track, or?
No.
Can I bet against myself?
Well, last time we had you on, I made a bigger mistake than you did, so. And while your track was definitely had audio issues, my screw up basically made the show almost unlistenable, so. Don't beat yourself up too much. That being said, you're using the right mic this time, right?
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. So I don't have to kill you. Okay.
Cool. Because I like my life right now.
Alright, so topic 1. Kind of a last year recap. And we're going to start with Antoine, because he came up with the format of the show.
Okay, sure.
And also, he's top of the file in the list.
How do we want to go? Do we cover everything at once?
Yeah. Let's keep it simple.
Okay, so first, my favorite events of this year, the past year. It's gonna be easy. I didn't attend much, and I didn't organize much. So it's gonna be Captain Con, because that's the only one I attended, and the Guildball East Canadian National Qualifier, because that's the only one I organized. So, pretty simple. Captain Con, it was my first time attending it, but it's the kind of the how do we say that?
Spiritual successor to
TempleCon, yeah, spiritual successor. So a lot of people we already met in the past at TempleCon were there. It was also for me a con to play the small games we don't play up here, and so I planned either events or pick up games in advance for games I hadn't played much in the past, and it was super successful for that. So I was able to play everything I wanted, get out games even with the designers. Shout out to Devin Peterson who worked on Pulp City. It was an amazing game, and we hanged out multiple times during the convention. The Guild Ball National was work to organize, but it went so well during the day that I couldn't be happier than how it went. Really, there was no glitch at all. Everything went well. It went fast. Wasn't running on time. We had only great comments about it, so I'm happy that we are running it again this year. On the minis side, so my favorite release of the year were Alpharius, which from Forge World, which is the how do you call them? I'm so out of
Primarch?
lore. Yeah, Primarch of the Alpha Legion. Nice miniature. It might not be the best one, but just because the Alpha Legion are my Legion of choice, it was great to see it finally released. And the second one is a really recent release. I think they are still even in production or just shipping. Is Lucane the Merchant, the bust by Iter Miniature. We mentioned it in a show.
Yep.
Either the last one
He's
or
really
the
cool.
one previous that.
He's the one that has the Santa Claus variant, right?
Yeah. So, my two favorite release of the year on the miniature side. After that, my first mini painted was Ostrican the Ogre for Relic Knight. I painted other miniatures and mostly hated doing it, but Ostrican was fun to work on and came out really well because he was bigger size. So I think Guillaume will be happy that you got no and not other stuff.
Yeah, I always said that.
Yeah, because the other miniatures are a pain to work on. I'm really looking forward to painting my Castellan, which is the giant robot for the Shattered Sword, and he's resin instead of being a rustic. So he's going to be a lot more fun to work on. And on the game side, my favorite new game of the year, I don't know if it released in 2018, but I first played it in 2018. That's Aristea, the televised sport game based in the Infinity universe. We already mentioned it in the last show, so.
Yeah. I think that was a 2017 release.
That's entirely possible. But I played it for the first time this year, so that's fun. That's fun with me. So that's my quick recap.
Well, that was very quick indeed. In fact, a little too fast, as I'm in the middle of doing something and can't talk.
You're not ready.
Mine is not going to be that fast.
Well, just do Yom next, and then you have time to finish your entire mini before it's your turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have like
snap.
at least, you have like a half an hour at least.
Okay, go ahead, Yo.
Oh shit! Wait.
He was not really either.
No, it's okay.
I
I'm
was
ready to
kidding.
talk. I'm
Okay.
ready to talk. It's all good. Okay, so my favorite event. Oh, I'm being retarded. Sorry. That moment when you glaze the model before the paint is actually dry.
Ow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this down now.
Air dryer.
I don't have one here. I can't save this.
It's like the third tip of the episode.
Pro
I am
tip: wait for paint to dry.
I am full of freaking wisdom tonight, people.
Paul the Wise,
Yeah.
doing all the mistakes so you don't have to.
You know, for people who always ask what's the difference between intelligence and wisdom in D&D, this is the perfect example. I am a smart fellow.
You're not
Apparently, though,
wise.
I am not too wise. Yeah. Jesus. Oh, my poor model. This guild's going to be so funny because I have the first two models I painted for it look so good. And everything else after that apparently is going to be poop. That's okay. Alright. Yeah, so my favorite event this year was Adepticon. I went to a few different events, and it was actually tough to pick. Adepticon was fun because it was the first long road trip I'd done this year. I did 3 road trips this year. One to Captain Con with the guys. About 6 hours, so not that big a deal.
Well, you say that, but it took as much time coming back from Captain Con than coming back from
Chicago. Yeah. That's true. So Adepticon was the first long road trip that was planned. And it was fun because I did it with a buddy of mine from college that's a gamer that I play with fairly often, but we hadn't had a chance to do anything like that. So that was neat. And Adepticon's always fun because of all my friends that are there, right? It's my one chance a year to see a bunch of different people that I've met over the years in this hobby. So that's always cool. My favorite mini release of the year. This was tough because we see so many different miniatures released, and I am like a goldfish once around the bowl and I forget everything. But I think my favorite model in recent history anyway is from the Judgment line. There is a model called Barnascus, who is a dwarf driving like a mini tank with 2 flamethrowers, and the model has like a ton of character in it. I mean, it's a dwarf on the tank, and a dwarf always has tons of character. But he's also driving over like a goblin and stuff. And the goblin's kind of like sticking out from under the front of the tank. And this is the idea of a arena combat game where one of the guys is driving a tank. It makes me giggle on the inside. So I'm really looking forward to getting that model in my hands. Favorite mini painted. That's also tough because I painted a lot. But as we've discussed a lot on the show, most of my painting is tabletop, like just not quite speed paint, but just good tabletop standard. So I think it's detrimental to really enjoying the painting of the models. Like, that style of painting is functional, but you don't necessarily derive a lot of joy from the actual painting process. So if I look at the models I painted with a kind of a higher level / took my time to enjoy painting, I think Anvil from the Guild Ball Blacksmiths team has been my favorite model this year to paint. He was a model that I've liked since I saw the original render for, and I liked the job I did on him, and I painted him up kind of like he's supposed to be like an old man with a big beard, but I painted the beard up in that kind of reddish tone that GW uses for their dwarves, like for their Slayer dwarves. So he's got a bit of a different look than he normally would, and I just quite liked it. And I just realized I forgot to paint all the little ties in his beard, so I'll have to fix that. But I think he was definitely the favorite model this year on the painting table. And I'm looking forward to actually getting a fully painted team if I could stop slaughtering my poor paint jobs and actually play the Blacksmiths lineup. And last but not least, favorite game I tried in 2018 is going to be Judgment. I really, really liked the gameplay. And I see a lot of potential in the game. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time in exploring the gameplay this year.
Okay.
And I've got a bunch of models I have to go pick up, so there will be opportunity, which is nice. Yeah. So I think that's about it.
Okay.
It was
Guillaume?
a tough choice for me between Judgment and Aristia.
So Judgment is that good?
It really is. I think there's a lot of potential in that game.
Mm-hmm. So my chances of resisting it are like thinner and slimmer and slimmer.
I'm not saying anything, but I think it'll be a tough one to avoid once you've tried it.
I know it's my destiny. Something like that. Once I try
not.
Tonio will show me the game and then I'm gonna be, gotta go, gotta join. So first, I didn't understand the duck the same way it was intended. So I thought we were just supposed to talk about the events we attended and not our favorite event. So that's why I put so many things.
So cut down.
Yeah, cut down. Well, technically done.
That's okay.
The funny thing about
worst case scenario, Paul can cut down afterwards.
Just edit Yom out.
Exactly.
So I put Captain Con with you. The thing to mention was it was a fun time, of course, but the two demos that I liked the most were Pulp City and Arena Rex. And I got myself all the models for a team of a 4 faction for a playable team for Arena Rex and Pulp City. I got the Jade Empire or Jade Cult. Correct me, Antoine.
Cult.
That's the martial artists, right?
No, Jade,
The Jade Cult are the
green guys.
Chinese ancient
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
right.
it.
guys.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
the martial artists were the guys I was looking at from that, from
Yeah.
someone.
The Blood Watch or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was 2 games that I was planning to like get painting and get playing in 2018, and I totally failed on both count. Yay me. To the displeasure of Antoine.
Yep.
Infinite sadness. Well, there was the Get Ball East Canadian National. Thing I liked, the Sergio Calvo Masterclass that went to Quebec City. That was a great time with friends, but also challenging new way or other way to paint or to see, like high-end miniature painting. And
Was that the Airbrush will fix class?
Yes, Airbrush will fix it class. The cheat brush thing. It's really surprising what you can do with the airbrush. Like you don't believe it until you try it. It's like coming together, all coming together before your very eyes thing. Yeah, it's like none of us in the class could believe that it would work, but it did. So I started. The model for the class was the Barbarian King with his 75mm Conan. I just started that model, but the next event I went to alone was the Sword and Brush in Toronto. So I used that event as an excuse to finish or a motivation to finish Conan. So I couldn't bring that model over there. So we were supposed to do a road trip, me and some other painters from Montreal, but they all choked, so I decided to go anyway. Put some podcasts for the road, and I did a 1-man road trip. Not as fun, but it was fine.
Yeah.
And it forced me to interact with people over there, so I would not just spend like the whole afternoon looking at my phone. So forced me to interact and make new friends over there.
And that's always good. It's, that's a surprising part of a lot of gaming events that people miss out on. Like, gamers come in 2 varieties, I find. The social and the antisocial, with very little middle ground.
Yep, and I didn't want to be in the second batch. So.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was great. It was to fortify some relation. Oh, and I met Ken from Badger. Ken was there.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yep, it gave me the proof that you are really friends, Paul.
Why did you mention me? And he was like, "Oh, that guy."
Yeah. And he said that he asked news about you, and apparently he was hoping to see you there too. So
oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So pressure for next time. just to meet with Ken. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Ken thinks I'm a better painter than I actually am too. That'd be kind of funny.
Aside from that, I didn't put any miniature release that I like, because I follow a lot of companies, so there's a lot of things that I like. So if I had to pick one out, it would be the I Don't Want to Go to School bus from Spira Mirabilis.
Mm-hmm.
That I sadly missed. I didn't buy it. And they only do limited runs, so it's gone forever.
Did you get the witch that was during December?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I swore to myself, since I missed the gnome bust, I will buy the next one if it was cool.
And it's super cool.
Yes, the old shaman lady, like putting paint on her face. It's really cool. So yeah, they did like a different kind of pre-order. Like instead of doing like a limited run of I don't know, like 150, they opened the pre-order for 48 hours. So if you buy one, like they will make their production according to that. So they sold.
Okay,
300.
so it's like a one-time order.
Yeah.
So if you ordered it, you'll get it, but then there's no more.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So some people were mad about that, but they had 300 like customers. Well, anyway, people bought 300 models.
And they advertise in advance, and it was
for like a month. So. Yeah, I know. People knew, but the usual run is like 150 or something like that. I know it was like twice as much as the usual run. So in the end, there's twice as many busts out there. So
it's probably because some people were buying and reselling, and it destroys that market, right?
Maybe.
Well, they can, I guess, but they can do that with usual way also, but because it's always the limited run.
Yes, but so if they do, I'm going to do 150, right? So they do 150. You order your 2 or 3. You keep one for yourself. You wait 6 months, you sell the other 2, and you pay for the one you got plus a little bit of extra, right? But because there's going to be people who didn't get that order in, who didn't, take advantage of it when it was available. But if they just let people pre-order for 48 hours and they sell 300 of them, well, there's twice as many in circulation. There's more chance people got it. Because there's more in circulation, that aftermarket value won't be as high. Like, that might be part of the thing too.
Okay, I think I understand your point the other way around at first. Okay, yeah, sure. Minis are painted though. There's a ton, so I'm just gonna talk about some of them. I'll really talk about the Conan. Yeah, no, I know. I'm making like huge efforts here. Give me some credits. I really talk about Conan. That was only my second 75mm. That was finished for the Sword and Brush. That didn't win anything, but that doesn't matter at all. Other things, I painted also my first 54 historical miniature. The Union Soldier that you have seen on my page. If you have not, go to my page and you will see it.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug, but like a lazy plug. Like you have to listen to the end of the episode where like Paul gave my Twitter tag. So
I'll just look for Yom Lamachin on Facebook. YAUMLAMACHINE. It's worth looking at. It's got a lot of nice stuff.
The spam machine. Yeah.
Spam me? Nah, man. I share like I do like 2 shares of my stuff because people were complaining here that I was spamming, so I reduced like 2 shares. So spamming is more like 10 shares, like when you're in 10 groups.
Yeah, what I get is the work in progress pictures of the Zenithal primed models. Like, I'm not saying you do that, Yom, but I see that often from a lot of people. I'm like, okay, work in progress. I have primed models already.
But sometimes I do that kind of pose just to make a little activity. Like when my page is idle for a week.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I print something and was like, right? Here's what's coming.
When there's no news, you make fake news. I get it.
Exactly.
It's a U.S. media technique.
So another project I was happy to work on was for the Trollblood Army for the Nova Open Charity Foundation. That also went well.
Yeah.
We were like paired with a lot of great painters from North America, so it was cool.
I have to say that your stuff was some of the nicer stuff in that set, my friend.
Say what?
The models you did?
Yeah.
Were some of the nicest stuff, like the stuff that was done for that army.
Okay, one more time. No. Well,
yes,
thanks.
Yom, I think
Thanks.
you can paint. I know I make fun of you a lot, but,
Well, I think I did great. And that I was right up there with the best, with the best guy. Yes, best.
Yeah.
best.
There were some people there I was honestly disappointed in what they did, which surprised me. I won't mention any names, but there are some well-known painters that I thought phoned it in.
Maybe. Also, like, if you are a commission painter, this thing you just do like for free. I mean, you just do like out of the goodness of your art. So
Yeah,
maybe you
I
don't
know,
have
but-
that much time to spend on it.
Yeah, but still, there's a guy who donated a Warlord Titan.
Yeah, that was insane. That was a bit crazy. No, totally crazy.
And I'm not saying everything has to be done to display standard. That's not what I'm getting at. But there was stuff that was like base coat wash, right? And you're like, and not from me, from like a well-known painter. And I thought that was a bit of a cop-out, Like, you lend your name to the charity raffle to try to encourage people to buy tickets, right? Because they're going to get some of your work. Right? That's the whole point. Like, I'm going to do this, and it was painted by Yom and whoever else participated, Like, that's part of the draw to it. And then when you do a crappy job, the next year, am I going to spend $200 on tickets? Maybe not, right? Because I saw the job you did, and while, it was painted and, models were free, maybe I'm less inclined to spend that money. Or maybe I was thinking about hiring you for a commission, right? And then based off that work there, I decide maybe not.
That makes total sense. Yep, to me. Yep.
So, anyway, I'll get off my pedestal now.
So, other things in 2018 painting wise, I tried to finish. I tried to put an end to my commission painting service. That was the plan, to close Yom La Machine.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I was like spent on commission painting. Like, I wanted to paint for myself those neat models and to finish my armies, but I don't know. It didn't happen. The spouse, my partner, she changed her job, so she has now a better quality of life job, but less paying. So I kept the commission painting around, but I don't know. We'll see what 2019 brings.
So I didn't realize that I knew she'd changed her job. I didn't realize she'd actually taken a pay downgrade in the end.
Yeah.
And I'm not criticizing her for making that choice at all. Don't take it that way. I think you just sometimes have to do what's best for you.
It
money
was
be
for a
damned,
mental health. Like,
exactly, right.
It's not usual to change a job for a less paying one, but it was a necessity.
No, I get that. I understand.
So we saw that coming, and that's why I kept the commission service around. But I don't know, like I've slowed down, I don't hunt for clients.
And also, you've got a
anymore.
pretty well-known service locally at the very least, right? So
Yeah. So it's funny because I talk to locals, and some think that I'm like overbooked, and some others think that I've closed. But no, it's just that I don't try to get contracted. They keep coming, so I will keep doing it for customers that I have. Others I will see. So yeah. On that note, game-wise, I mentioned the demos that didn't pan out, like the Pulp City and the Arena Rex that didn't paint. I still have all the models. They're on the Shelf of Shame. Otherwise, the game that I discovered or rediscovered this year, thanks to Antoine, was Relic Knight 2.0, the second edition.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good game. Just like, doesn't have a good marketing, or I don't know, like nobody talks about it, but it's a really good sci-fi game. And
well, the game officially is not even out.
Yeah,
the second edition is still in production, so that's why.
The models, but the rules are not.
The rules, the only thing about the rules, it's in an update in the Kickstarter page.
Okay, so that's why backers could take the rules and send the rules around. Yeah. Okay. To create a hype.
Yeah.
Create the hype. But, well, I hope it goes well for that part. I don't know. I would like to see the game pick up locally. A lot of people have the models from the first Kickstarter. So I know that they have difficulties right now, Ninja Division, but I don't know. I mean, that game is really like a hidden gem. Like, Paul, sometimes on other shows you mentioned that you would like to find a good sci-fi game. You miss like a good sci-fi skirmish game. It's like Relic Knight, man. It's super good.
And actually,
the rules are super good.
I often hunt for models for it, to be honest, to kind of flesh out what I have, because I don't want to paint the basic troopers for Black Diamond, because I have the models, but they're so crappy. So I'm trying to find more Black Dragons, but a lot of places I see them, they want too much money for them. Like, to spend $30 US on crappy, plastics.
No, the first edition is really crap stuff. Yeah. Crap, ristic stuff.
So I just don't want to do it,
We'll find a way.
I'm really happy because you like the game, and the other guy who tried it locally, Daniel, also really liked the game. So we're only 3 locally who tried the second edition, but all 3 are hyped up about it. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, I think it's just a question of getting more people playing so that we have like new opponent, like new faces once in a while. That would really make that thing like launch, because it's really, really good. And that's it. Steve's still there?
Yeah. Just waking up. So for 2018, my favorite event was, no surprise, Ellipticon, because it's always a great time. It's always fun. And last year, I took part for the first time in the 40K team tournament, and it was pretty fun, even though it's highly competitive and everything. But since it's team...
Oh yeah, and you hate competitive, Steve. I mean...
Yeah, I don't like competitive. But I've played I think I played more game of 8th edition 40K during that weekend than I played previously.
And since?
Yeah. Well, actually, I went to a small tournament in Quebec City just to get a month prior to the event, just to make sure I still remember the rules and stuff like that, and try a bit of the army I would be playing. So it was pretty fun. And I met a couple of people. Actually, I didn't know. I met some people who used to play Warhammer 8th edition competitively, and they switched to 40K. Actually, he was switching to 40K, and he was playing like I was, so he was just there for the team, basically, and drinking during the game. It was pretty nice. Close second was Nova. It was a fun small event for the Guild Ball side, but it was a big convention and everything, and it was pretty nice. We had a fun drive going there with
and we met some cool people, right?
Yeah, it was fun. We met Sean.
And let's not forget Zach.
Yeah.
And Maurice and Aaron. Like a lot of really cool, fun people there. Dixon.
It was a pretty fun event. And Actually, I can go to games because that's where I've tried Champions with you, and it was pretty fun game. Even though it's a card game and it's not a miniature war game, but that's the new game I've tried this year. Because apart from that, it's been Guild Ball and a small weekend of 40k for the entire year. On my part.
Yeah, you don't suffer from
gamer EDD.
Not the way we do, anyway. It seems.
And for a miniature, my favorite one that got released is the Piper bust from Broken Toad Miniature. It's
awesome choice.
Yeah, it's my favorite bust they released this year, and it's really good. And it almost made me want to buy it and paint it. But I know I won't be able to do it justice, so I'll stick to tabletop gaming painting.
You know, you say that, but in a lot of ways, larger models are more forgiving.
Maybe.
At least from what I've seen, my personal experience. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to be, Sergio, just because of paying a larger model, but I think it's surprising. It's surprising how much wiggle room you have. Oh, Paul, why are you even painting still?
So that's pretty much it for my part.
Sorry, I am mangling this model. The more I try to fix, the worse it gets.
Do you want to take a break before we go into the next part of the show?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You're good?
Yeah, I'll just continue to mangle my model.
So, we might as well go to the next part, as Steve is saying. So, second topic, what we're looking forward to this year, the coming year, so 2019. So, might as well keep the same order. So, I'll go first, so Paul can prepare for when I'm done. I'm gonna go as fast, so get ready, Paul. So
I'm always ready.
Event-wise, I wish I would be able to attempt Captain Con, but it's close to Adepticon, and it's gonna be hard to justify with the family schedule. So it's gonna be Adepticon. It's my first time going. I look forward to it. It's the biggest miniature-centric con I would have gone to. It's the biggest one out there at all. So I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of people I've only met online, see new faces, try a ton of new games. My schedule is full. I need to make space just to be able to eat. So it should be fun. I look forward to the drive. I hope I won't sleep too much and be able to keep you company, guys. But you'll have G, who I'm sure is gonna talk enough to compensate for my snoring.
Assuming he remembers to get the time off work.
Yeah, or it's not canceled at the last time. Yeah,
he can get the time off work.
Yeah, we'll see.
Asking is not a problem. I find it's getting it. It's the problem.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it works out.
Minis wise, it's not like there's a lot of stuff we already know that's gonna come out. So it's almost going with the Yom's final comment, but it's gonna be the Relic Knights 2.0 Kickstarter miniatures. I pledge for it. Luckily for me, if it fails, it's not too bad, because a lot of my pledge, I put some money in it, but most of it was points I had left from the demo program.
Okay.
So I didn't invest too much into the Kickstarter, so if it completely failed and we never receive anything, at least I would have got the rules out for my money, and the rest is just demo hours I would have lost. and I had nothing else to do with those points anyway, so might as well put them there. I look forward to they have some resculpts of the Shattered Sword miniatures that I like, but mostly the new miniatures in the starter set for the Radiant part, which are the multicolored faction for the good guys. They look cool. I really, really hope they come out. But we'll see. So that's it for miniatures. And for games, it's not new games, but it's new games for me. What I'm painting right now, an aerial, I've not been able to play it yet, but I look forward to trying it. And the other one is Moonstone. That's another skirmish game that I just received my material and that I will work on early this year. So those two are the two new games I wish to be able to put on the table. And for the general stuff, that's about it. Other games, like the old games, I wish Pulp City can come out more. It's my favorite game right now. I'm pretty sure it's a toss-up between that and some others, but that one is really up there. And sadly, it's really not active locally. So hopefully, if Yom gets his stuff done, Paul gets his stuff eventually, if he's able to get the miniature you wanted, and if doing the monster game can get some eyes on it and get people interested, we might see it more. So that's my wish for an actual game to get more playtime out. That's it for me.
Okay. So, my event I'm looking forward to is Adepticon. For all the reasons I previously mentioned as to why it was my favorite event this year, but also because it's going to be the first event where I do a 4-man road trip like that. And, my first Adepticon was with Yom, and Yom and I kind of hung out a lot, and we made some new friends, met some painters at the time. And that was kind of my first step into that community. So going back there with Yom kind of feels right. And I want to be there to kind of share your first experience with it, Antoine, because I think you're going to love it. And going anywhere with G is always a lot of fun, right? Because he's super enthusiastic about everything miniature. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Even if I have double booked on several days worth of schedule, I think. I still have to figure out my schedule. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Sorry, pardon me. Yawning on mic. Now for miniature that I'm looking forward to, I kind of misunderstood what we were doing. I was thinking a miniature I was looking forward to paint. Not necessarily a miniature I was looking forward to release, because I can't tell what's coming out, so I am apparently not psychic.
What?
Well, I know. It's surprising. It surprised me, too.
You should have put Sister of Battles there.
No, because that'd be a 40k thing. And I keep buying 40k models that I'm never going to use, so I should stop.
Well, don't you have the yearly apocalyptic game with Yom?
That we haven't played in 3 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds good, though.
Yep. But the model I'm looking forward to painting the most in 2019 is... Sorry, I have to look up the name, make sure I got it right. Saiyan, I think her name is? Yeah. And it's a model from Judgment. She is a soul gazer, I think the term is.
Oh, the one you added during the demo, the elf?
Yeah. But that model just looks so nice. I think it's really cool looking. So I'm quite looking forward to that. It's hard to pick because I ordered a lot of those models. And there's a lot of nice models in that line.
Yeah.
And, a game I'm looking most forward to playing in the upcoming year is Judgment. I really like the gameplay. And I'm also looking forward to playing more Guild Ball. But that's not exactly a new thing. But I haven't gotten to play a lot in the last month or so, and it's really making me miss the Guild Ball.
You went on a cruise.
Yeah, I went on a cruise and just haven't been able to go on gaming nights. Family's been sick, and it was hard to go the week before the cruise because I was leaving for a week on a cruise, and my wife was gonna have the kids for the whole week. Because like all good husbands, I went on a cruise without my wife. But I took my mom, so it's okay. I'm a good son, if not a good husband. And so I didn't really want to go out gaming and then leave her with the kids for a whole week. That didn't seem right. So all to say, not much gaming going on in Paul's life at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to doing some gaming in 2019. And we're starting off right because we've got Captain Con scheduled and Adepticon scheduled. And as far as I know, Nova is still a possibility.
Oh, cool. More Nathans.
More Nathans, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And that crazy hamburger joint. What was the name of the hamburger joint? Do you remember?
Oh, with the shake that gives you a hernia trying to suck on it because the straw was so thin.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't remember the name.
I don't remember either, but it was delicious. So yeah, that's my 2019. Lots of fun stuff with lots of fun people.
I bet that Steve's section of things he's looking for would be like a list of restaurants. Just a list of restaurants.
Clam chowder on the beach.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's true. Soon, Steve. Soon. Oh, not for you though. I forgot about that. Maybe we'll get a nice pack and bring you back clam chowder.
You said it in cans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have cans. We can bring some cans for people here.
Yep.
Well, you say we, but... Oh, wait, no, that's right. You're going with... I'm insane.
Oh,
you're the one that's going with me, yes.
I'm not going anymore?
No, you're still going.
I didn't receive the memo.
No, you're still in.
Yeah? You sure? You don't sound that sure.
No, I'm sure.
It doesn't sound that happy.
Exactly. It's only a 6-hour drive, Paul, so that's not too long to be stuck with me.
No, we, I am so fortunate that, a lot of people, they have friends and they like their friends, but to put up with them for, 10 hours in the car, 12 hours in the car or whatever, and then a whole weekend with them can be tough.
Well, you're saying that, but you didn't drive the 16 hours stuck in a car with Yom yet, so wait until March.
Well, you did 12 in a snowstorm, so...
With Yom dumping coffee on the backseat of my car, which is still stained by it.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And,
Paul didn't forget about it.
But all to say, I still like Yom, right? So, I can't, I'm very blessed. Because being friends with someone is one thing. Being able to spend that much time with them is something else. So... I'm really quite lucky that everyone I've ever gone to an event with like this, I've enjoyed every experience thoroughly. I've never had the bad road trip experience.
Well,
sorry, I hijacked someone talking. Sorry.
No. I mean, there's still time. The event I'm most looking for, and also because it's the only event that I have planned so far, is Adepticon. I went once with you, Paul. And Steve. It was 4 years ago. Like it was in 2015.
Yep.
So that's a 4-year gap. But really looking forward to it because I have a lot of catching up to do with a lot of people. I really want to see those people again in the flesh. I mean, because it's painters that I have like that you still talk through social media, but seeing them in the flesh is not the same thing. So yeah, really looking to see Mark and Jess and I don't know, man, Sam. There's so many people. All the best people.
And Jess is back to painting miniatures again, I think.
Yeah. I hope that she will be there. I think she will. And I hope that I will see her there. Yeah. Yeah, she took a long hiatus, but I think she's coming back to it. Anyway, seeing Liz also. I mean, this... my schedule, I left some spot in it, but I mean, I expect it to be packed, because if I'm off of some classes, I want to go like see people, go outside. Let's go be the tourist or something. I mean, it's gonna be tight to see everyone. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how the road trip goes. Also, it's a long trip, but I think we are a good crew. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit rough, I think, because we're leaving a bit later than ideal, which is unavoidable. And I'm not bringing that up to try to point the finger at you, Yom. It's, we all have families.
Yeah, that was a like deal or no deal thing. Like the leaving that late, I couldn't avoid it.
Yeah, and I decided it was more important to have you along than leave early. So I made my choice. I'm happy with it. It's fine.
Is it because it's Christmas you're being nice, Paul?
No.
Because we don't see each other often. He misses me deep down.
Pretty fucking deep.
Friendly Paul.
Language, young man.
Yeah.
You want me to find a wave of beep?
Okay. Miniatures. I'm looking forward to paint also. The bust of Papa Jumbo. Because...
So...
Yeah?
Yeah, no, continue.
Okay. The Big Child did a second Kickstarter for like Japanese orcs. Like feudal Japanese orcs. But you could buy like as add-ons like miniatures from their previous, and they had the same price as in the first Kickstarter. So I found someone, a local, who was like backing the Kickstarter, and I secured myself a Papa Jumbo bust. So I will finally be able to paint it. Really looking forward to it. Also about the yes.
Sorry, Om, I have to interrupt you.
Yes.
So this is the funny story I wanted to tell you about.
Yes.
So last year, when it was around your birthday time, I spoke to Antoine, and I suggested that we buy you that bus for your birthday. And Antoine was like, I'm all in. So I ordered that bust. And then promptly forgot about it until I read that doc right now.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So the funny thing is, I can't remember if it ever came in. And if it did, I don't know where it is. But I remember ordering it, because I remembered asking Antoine if he wanted to split it with me for your birthday present.
Wow.
So I have to go back through my records now and figure out what happened.
I forgot about that too.
Wow.
So how would you feel about painting too? Because I think last year you mentioned how you'd really like to paint that bust.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I've been like...
And you painted... You in the original Kickstarter, you didn't buy the bust. You bought like there's a miniature. There was something else you bought instead of the bust.
Yeah.
And you regretted not buying that bust.
Yeah, and I've been talking about it like for years.
Forever. Yeah. So when your birthday came around, I was like, oh, I had the perfect idea, and Young will be so surprised.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so. Surprise! I don't know what I did. Yep.
if you wanted to see like an adult cry, yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Yob. I don't know where your present is from last year. Yeah, or earlier this year, or whatever. Anyway, all to say, you're going to paint it, so it's all good. I may have one here somewhere to practice on? Question mark?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm less forward. Wow. Okay.
I don't know why you're thanking me. You didn't get anything, Yob.
No, but I mean,
the thought
you
was
were
there.
serious enough to order it at some point and talk with Antoine, so I guess you really ordered it, so I'm touched. Even if I've not seen it. But it's the thought that counts, they say. I mean, the bus would be nice, but... Okay.
Yeah, that's why when I read your notes that you wanted to paint, thing you were looking forward to is that model. I was like, that name sounds. Wait a minute. I think that's the bust I ordered. What happened to that? Yeah. So anyway, continue, please.
Okay. So something you said about being wise and intelligent, or something like the difference between. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. Another model that I bought because I didn't want to miss that window, because I've learned lessons, was the Old Shaman Lady from Spira Mirabilis. I don't know when it's gonna come in, but it's an amazing bust. So much character. And other thing, like, this year I decided to support some companies because, like I said, I follow all those companies on social media, so I see all their releases. I cannot buy them all, obviously. But I decided to support some of them this year and support some others next year, and as long as I can to give presents to myself, I guess, to treat myself. So I bought a bunch of 75mm from Black Sun Miniatures. So looking forward to that. I'm gonna build some just display pieces, dioramas. The only thing that irks me, I bought the Savage Orc in pre-order. Like the first day of pre-order, I bought the Orc. I have not received it, of course, but I've seen like a company that do classes online. They posted picture online of their classes, and the model used was that Orc. So I'm like, so what's the point of a pre-order if others they received it and do classes with it, but I have not received it yet. So
that's weird.
That was the first day of pre-orders. I'm like, okay, but so people who take classes with these other guys, they can go home with the models that are pre-ordered. Okay. Whatever. So.
Feels a bit like Kickstarter who sell to distributor before sending to backers.
Yeah. It gave me the same feeling, yes. That same not fun feeling. Game-wise, I wrote Pulp City and Arena Rex because I missed my chance in 2018, so I guess I'm gonna try again. They're two great games, but and I thought it's all ready for them. So, yeah,
we have not talked about what we've been doing in the past weeks, but what I did was paint terrain for Arena Rex. So now I have a map, I have models painted, and terrain to play. So I'm just waiting for people to play with it.
Did you paint the arena?
Not the arena, but we can play with the map. So
it's okay. We'll wait till the arena is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pretend that's the real reason that is the arena thing.
It won't be that long, Steve, because the next time I get out of the house without having share of running my pants, I'm going to Canadian Tire and picking the spray for the arena. It's my next project. So you should get assembling and painting.
Okay.
Arena Rex is just a couple of models, but I want to do it to paint them display level. But Pulp City, I have more models, but I would just want to do them like tabletop, so I can get to play faster.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that would be it for me.
So it's my turn.
Steve, yes, that's your cue. Yeah.
It's my cue. Event I'm looking forward will be Captain Con, if I'm still going. I'm not too sure.
Oh, jeez, Steve.
I'm kidding. Because I won't be doing Adepticon this year, sadly, because the way Christmas vacation are done, it's costing me too much vacation day, and I won't have enough vacation to go to Adepticon, so I'm gonna miss it this year. So have fun and say hi to Brendan for me.
Will do.
After that, for miniatures, well, for miniatures release, I don't know, but miniature painting, I want to try something new and try to do my rat catchers. And since I won't play them in tournaments, I'm gonna try to do them a bit better and take my time painting them. So there's no rush in doing them. Unlike my other project, usually I paint like rush, try to finish for a tournament. So we'll see how it goes for those. And for games, well, when Antoine finished the arena, I want to try Arena Rex. Well, my models are all washed up, so I just need to assemble them and maybe at least do some Zenithal priming on them, so they're not.
Well, my models are actually assembled. So.
It's 3 model. You might as well paint them, Steve.
I know. I should, right?
And Yom, I just had an idea there. For model to release this year, you should have mentioned the miners.
Yes. Oh,
that's true.
No, he said this year,
if I
not
want
next
to be
year.
optimist.
He said this year, not next year.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Maybe this decade. I mean, that gives them another year. This decade.
Hey, remember when I used to be the negative one about Steamforged and Steve was the positive one?
Yeah, that time's over.
Oh, whoops. Well, that's the end of this shirt.
I thought that you were going to say that's the end of the show. I was, what?
No.
Cutting
I
it
thinned out
short.
a bunch of ink. No, I thinned out a bunch of ink before. And I guess I must have put my hand in it and then touched my shirt. So I've got blue ink in my shirt now.
Oh.
And not a small amount. So I'm actually trying to wash it out, because the shirt's like a dry fit, like gym shirt. So I'm hoping the ink won't bond to it. So excuse me while I hose myself down with my airbrushing water, and then try to blot the ink out of my shirt.
So we should close the show up so that you can go wash up.
And before he starts doing a striptease on camera for us.
Yeah, at least it's not recording.
As we say in Quebec, I'd be en bedaine.
Exactly.
So
look away.
we've all gone. So
Talk to you next year, I guess.
yeah, because we're recording just before the end of the year, but it's gonna release early 2019. Wow. So
I'm really good at killing shows, I've noticed lately. I end them in weird ways.
Yeah, that was really abrupt.
I guess, when you've got Paul covered in ink, where do you go from there?
Or you're just trying
Unless
to
you're going to cover me in maple syrup or whipped cream. I mean.
Oh, it's just like in
that's a
the
different type of
holidays,
show.
you're trying to get rid of the family, get out of the house quickly. There you go. That's Paul.
What are you trying to say, Steve?
I'm not saying anything.
That hurts, Steve. I'm hurt. You know I'm sensitive, right?
I know.
People say Yom's a sensitive one, but it's not Yom. That's why I lash out at him all the time.
Which
It's a displaced anger. I'm tired. Okay, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. I want to wish all of you and everyone listening, all 3 of them, a happy new year and much progress in their painting projects in 2019. Because every one of us has that shelf of shame.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much for the show, guys. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, geeks.
Thanks for listening to Geeks of the North. If you want to contact us, you can email us at geeksofthenorth@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geeksofthenorth, or follow us on Twitter at Geeks of the North. You can follow me, Paul, at PRFilio, Antoine at Eltonio Berg, Steve at B_Steve, and if you really feel the need, I guess you can follow Yom. He's at Yomasta. Breaks and outro music by Ladrave. You can listen to them at ladrave.bandcamp.com. See you next time, geeks.
Thank you for checking out United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to UnitedGeeksNetwork.com, where you will find Zero Budget Geek, a YouTube channel covering board games, video games, and other geek stuff. You'll find Let's Play and how to play videos of different board games and video games, as well as reviews. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at UnitedGeeksNetwork.com.